because we need to put that in our head. We need to be able to stop the nonsense, ridiculous, uh, ignorant mentality that we have to be politically correct. We don't need to be politically correct. We need. Wow, man, you didn't tell me that we was on Facebook or YouTube or whatever, and I'm showing my head over there in the, you know, and yeah, I'm gonna put my head here so people know that I'm not afraid to show my face, my handsome face, and make sure that they know that I mean what I said and I say what I mean. So anyway, we was talking about the Republican candidates. You must have read the Las Vegas Tribune today.
No.
Because you haven't read the
I
Tribune
don't,
today?
the Tribune, yes.
Oh.
I haven't read the Journal.
Okay,
I'm a Tribune guy.
good. Because
Hey,
I
look
tell
for the
you,
truth.
I tell you one thing, it is very important to know that I wrote it in this week's paper. I wrote that it's understandable the Republican people are candidates. They running for the same position than what's his name, Donald Trump is running for. So they have to attack him in order to be able to trying to win the election. But I don't think anybody else is going to win that nomination but Donald John Trump. I tell you the truth. And it's understandable, but I don't think it's fair that they mislead the country. They mislead the citizens, the voters, by saying something that is not true.
Exactly. You have the right, if you're running against someone, to have a controversy over the ideas that they're promoting or this or that, have a discussion over policies and things like that. But when you start going on the TV or whatever interview, and you start professing that Donald Trump is not qualified to be president because he's saying something that's unconstitutional, these people don't know what they're talking about. Because Jimmy Carter did the same thing back in the
Yeah, but
Iranian days.
wait. Just because Jimmy Carter did it, it doesn't mean that it's unconstitutional. It is unconstitutional if it's not in the Constitution, but not because Jimmy Carter did it. Jimmy Carter was the...
Jimmy Carter did it because it was constitutional.
That's right.
So that's the difference. Now you have these pundits or these people running for the nomination of the Republican Party that are incompetent. They don't know what they're talking about. And Trump knows what he's talking about. He's the only one, except for Cruz, who's not going against Trump on this issue. So
And
you have
now,
two people.
and now they are coming out with another idiotic mentality, saying that Donald Trump is doing that so Hillary Clinton can win the election. I mean, how stupid can you be? Donald Trump didn't make his millions and his billions by being stupid. And he knows that Hillary Clinton is not going to win the election. If she wins the election, she's not going to be the president. She's going to be the inmate number so and so and so. It's simple as that. So, but they come out with that mentality to confuse the voters. And I don't think it's fair. So,
Well, it's pretty blatant to people that are educated and can see the reasoning behind why these candidates are doing what they're doing is because the Republican money people, the established Republican, whatever they are are controlling every figure out there except Donald Trump. And they don't want Donald Trump because they won't be able to control him. That should be the first thing that the voters notice and say, hey, he's our guy because he's not going to be influenced by somebody that's against our rights.
You know, let me tell you, I did a show today in Spanish with Jesus Marquez, and he's a Mexican journalist that has a radio show on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. And I don't know the name of the station now, but it used to be, I forgot. I should not be saying that on the air, but I forgot. You know, and he asked me to go to his show today, and I did it, and I tried to explain to them. And you know, it's funny because even the Mexican people that are living in Las Vegas, they agree with Donald Trump. You know,
I bet at least half of them do.
This guy Marquez, he is completely and he agreed with Donald Trump. You know, and I was very happy to hear that, because the Democrats are trying to make Donald Trump the enemy of the Mexican people, and that's not true.
They're trying to make him the enemy of everybody.
Yeah.
And they'll say anything to get to that end. They lie, they distort everything.
And I believe then the majority of the Mexican people that live here in Las Vegas, they all agree with Donald Trump.
Well, this is the distortion that's presented, okay? Trump's statement was to put a pause on the allowing of all these Muslims trying to immigrate or try to whatever to this country.
Yeah.
Put a pause on it until our illustrious moronic leaders figure this out, because right now they don't know. We have no paperwork. We don't know who these people are, so forth. That's what Trump said. Now, here's a distortion. I believe Trump's unprecedented proposal, unprecedented, that's a lie, would violate our Constitution. Well, these Muslims coming in this country, they don't have our Constitution. We do. They're outsiders. What do we give a crap about their Fifth Amendment for? Now you get all this stuff out there. This is blatant, unqualified, incompetence blabber is what this is. That's not what Trump said.
And the people have to realize that all those people are lying to us. They are lying. And that's what they have to realize. That why would they lie? They lie because they don't want the country to get back in the hands of the people. That's all it is.
Exactly
You
right.
know.
You got it exactly on the head.
You
They're
know.
scared of Trump. All the people in power are afraid of Trump because he jeopardizes their power.
Yeah.
And we have to take, as people of this country, the people that the country was founded for, we have to take back the power from these supposed elected officials because they've abused it. They've abused their power and they're incompetent. They don't know the first thing about what they're talking about. They're all unqualified people. Who are they? What have they ever accomplished in their lives? What has Obama ever accomplished in his life? Where did he come from?
Hold on. I have to disagree with you on that.
Okay.
I have to disagree. What do you mean? Who will ever dream that Barack Obama was going to be the president? He accomplished that. You know.
No, the dumb people of this country elected him. That's what happened. It wasn't Obama's qualifications.
No, but
He's an empty suit to the max.
But he
Just
did.
because he got lucky. If you go to a crap table and you play the hard eight and it comes
But
up,
he accomplished it, regardless if it was luck or not. I mean, let's face it, we
think
cannot deny the fact that the guy with 2 months in the States and the United States Senate,
Wow.
he decided to run for president, and you know
you smell a rat. How did Alan Glick come here and buy all these hotels back when he was 29 years old? He accomplished that? No, he was a mafia figurehead. That's all. A front man. Same thing with Obama. He's a front man for somebody.
But how
would
come
say
I
George
cannot be a
Soros,
front man for somebody?
Because you don't have the connections with Soros. You have to say you'll be a puppet and do exactly what they say. And then that's who they put up to run. A yes man to them. That's
don't know
exactly
how-
what Obama is.
I don't know how to
He's
be
a
a
bought
yes
and
man.
paid for freak.
I don't know how to be a yes man. That's my problem. That's my problem.
Well, Trump's not a yes man.
That's right.
Trump's a right man.
And Trump has his own money. He don't need to ask for any money. He don't need to wait for any money. He don't need to be scared that they're gonna take the money away from him because he don't do what they said.
Trust me, this latest flare-up over this immigration thing, what he said about the Muslims, is going to fizzle away because Trump, again, is going to be proved correct. He's right. Jimmy Carter did it by the Constitution back when he did it, and nobody was complaining back then. Jimmy Carter went before the TV and so forth, declaring with abatement that he was going to do this. That was a great thing Jimmy Carter was going to do, is protect this country. Now we have the opposite thing going on. What's the difference? Because he was a liberal and Trump's a conservative?
Yeah.
That's the only difference. And Trump has money, and he's going to do what's right. That's it.
You know, I saw
Standard.
something similar to that statement that you just made when Mitt Romney was running for. They was complaining about Mitt Romney's money, and somebody came out on Facebook or somewhere showing the financial records of opera.
Yeah, I remember that.
You remember that?
Yeah.
And how come they didn't complain about opera? You know, and
She was worth a lot more than Romney, like 5 or 6 times more than Romney.
really, huh?
Yeah, Romney's like a couple $100 million, and Oprah's $1 billion.
Wow, opera billion? How did she
Because
make the money?
Because of the advertising that goes to her radio or TV stations that
Uh-huh.
she controls. She owned her whole own show.
Yeah.
She didn't work for someone else, so she got all the advertising money.
Oh. And how did she get to have all that advertising?
Because of her popularity. Once you get to
How
a
did she
position where
become
you have
popular?
she had a radio show that somebody put her on, a TV show. Somebody owned that show to begin with. She got on there and became a big star, and then she renegotiated, as Trump would say, her contract and renegotiated, and pretty soon the former owner was out because Oprah Winfrey didn't need them anymore. She could go on her own and develop her own station. That's what she did. Like Johnny Carson, he owned the Tonight Show. It wasn't NBC there at the end. It was, for the last decade maybe of him, he owned the show.
I remember when he bought Channel 5 here in Las Vegas. I used to.
Jay Leno never owned the show.
No.
He just got several $1 million for being the guest host. But Johnny Carson in his day was a lot bigger, and you could do things like that. It doesn't take the billions and billions now to buy your own show.
I tell you, I don't know who picked that guy now. Then is there.
On the David Letterman show?
Yeah.
Colbert?
Oh God. I don't know how these people get. You see, that's an accomplishment. You convince somebody that you are the one. I guess you have to be egotistic enough to do something like that.
Well, the liberals don't have anybody on their bench. They have all losers waiting to come up to bat. There's nobody to pick. So David Letterman was an out-and-out liberal to the max. He was, one-sided. And now who are they going to replace him with? So they go to somebody who was always a liberal, but he played a conservative. Colbert on his show on the Comedy Channel played a conservative, but he was mocking the conservatives by playing one. So he acted on a lot of things like he was a conservative, but he was making fun of them. So then the powers to be at channel CBS or whatever, they go for that because Colbert was popular. Now he's completely flip-flopped, and he's more liberal than any of them. So what happened to the act? The act went away, and therefore, in my opinion, so did Colbert. That used to be his appeal. Now it's gone. So his show's showing it. His ratings are down. I don't think he's going to make it. Or he better change his act. They've already given him a week on for discussions, a week off,
Oh, really?
Oh, he already was off for a week. They were playing old shows, I think, a week ago.
Why?
Because they were having discussions. He had to clean up his act. He'd gone way, way too over the side.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, but still, even if it was the personality, the jokes that he make, they're not funny. They're not.
No,
I mean,
they used to be funny on the Comedy Channel because he was acting like he was a conservative. So the jokes had a little bit of texture to them. They were kind of funny. Now they're totally not funny. They're totally not funny. And you take like a Jay Leno. What are his politics? He would never go down that road and say he was this way or that way. He was always in the middle.
I wonder what happened to him. Why did they?
He's got
take
his
him
own show now.
again?
No, but it's a car show.
Oh yeah,
Jay Leno's Garage.
yeah, I see.
And it's interesting. I like cars, so But it's interesting. He talks to like Tim Allen was on there with his cars, and some race car drivers, and people that are celebrities too that are into the cars.
Who is Tim Allen?
Tim Allen was a Tool guy. Remember?
No,
That was a show on TV for years, very popular.
he wasn't playing in Fox News, right?
No, he was. He's a
so-
star.
So.
He's a TV star.
Oh.
And then he did some movies.
Yeah, I don't watch anything but channel Fox News.
Oh well, you might start to look around for another show.
Yeah, I
They're
know.
not out there though. That's the
No,
problem. We need
you-
to come up with. Rush Limbaugh needs to go back on TV. That's what needs to happen. He had a great TV show, but it only lasted like a half an hour.
Wow,
It was
it
too
cost too
quick.
much money for.
It would fly by. No, he was on one of the main networks. Wasn't on a cable channel. He was on a main network, and of course, all the bosses were getting flack by the powers to be. What the hell are you doing with a Rush Limbaugh on there? Because he's, So I think there was a lot of heat. And finally, just got too much to bear, so they got rid of him.
Well,
But it was that was back in the Clinton days in power, and I'll tell you what, he tore them up.
why don't we do our own television show and sell it to the news to the network?
Okay. We need about $1 billion in production costs, probably to kick it off. And then once we have the tapes and all that stuff, and it's been recorded, then we can sell it.
Oh. And
Or you have to go to the powers to be that own the networks and convince them that you're so great, that your show's going to be so successful that they'll back it. Lacking that,
yeah,
you gotta
but they
do it on your
should.
own.
They already should know that. They should know I'm great.
Well,
Go
tell them that then.
Look at my personality. Look at my hair.
Yeah.
I mean, it's unbelievable.
It's very trim. Very neat,
what?
very neat and trim.
Yeah.
Very trim. Not a hair out of place.
I know. There was no hair in there whatsoever.
Hard to be out of place when there is none.
That's good. So anyway, we getting ready for the debate on the 15th.
15th of the debate. I'm going to be at the thing at the 14th at the
On
Westgate
the 14th at the Westgate.
Hotel. Starting at 5, they open the doors, and then at 7:30, something's supposed to kick off. I'm sure Trump's going to do one of his hour, speeches, and everybody will be going crazy and clapping and cheering.
Everybody will start criticizing him again.
Well, that's after the debate, but there'll be probably 1,000, 2,000 people outside that can't get in, and as usual, I mean, the people out there, the voters, have to open their eyes and look and see the events that are happening. and try to understand what it means. When you have every single person, the media, mainstream media, you have the other Republican candidates, you have all the Democrats, of course, everybody, and a lot of the talk shows and this and that, everybody is so vehemently against Trump. Even it's impermeated into Fox News. You have supposedly these fair and balanced people, moderators on Fox News, like Megyn Kelly, and she's totally against Trump. So this thing is so pervasive.
I don't think she really is.
Oh, absolutely.
I think she's putting a show just to.
No way. She hates him because she went after him, and the great Megyn Kelly didn't get away with it because Trump trounced her, called her out on it, and she had to take a week off like Colbert did. They gave her a week off at the station to go calm down.
Well, that's probably why they give it.
They didn't give Trump a week off. He didn't need to take a week off. He won.
Because he don't work for the station.
Well,
he don't work for the station.
That's right.
She does.
That's right. So she's going to be reluctant, or should be reluctant, to cross over that line again. And I don't think you'll ever see her, when she's in front of Trump personally, take him on again, ever. She's going to be bowing down and kissing up and this and that. But when she's not around Trump, she's going to say what she wants to say because she's been, knocked down a couple notches. I don't like hypocrites. And everybody except Trump is becoming a hypocrite because they say one thing, they do another, and then you have the Republican running for the nomination. They're all saying the same thing Trump is saying.
They become politicians. That's all it is.
That's
The
true.
politicians are made out of a special material.
Yeah.
Then
Does it have anything to do with species?
nothing to do
Species?
with. They don't even write their own speeches. That's what they got the teleton or whatever. What do you call that?
Teleprompter.
Teleprompter. Oscar is the same way as Donald Trump. Trump don't need a teleprompter.
No, he knows what he's going to say because he
knows
believes in what he's
gonna
saying.
say,
And he'll say the same thing twice.
It came from
Obama never says the same thing twice unless it's lies.
It bothers me that.
He won't say the truth. He won't call an Islamic terrorist. And he calls ISIS ISIL. What's wrong with this guy? He's a moron. What is with the word ISIL? Nobody else in the world calls it ISIL except for Obama and his people that have to be controlled by him.
Yeah.
They're the only ones that call it ISIL. You got Lurch, Kerry, ISIL. Even Hillary Clinton doesn't say ISIL. Because she doesn't work for Obama.
Somebody was using that word today. I forgot who was it.
Well, Leslie Gramnesty says it. A Republican, supposedly, but he's about as far from a Republican as you can get. He's from South Carolina, and he's clocking less than 1% support from his own state. I don't even think he has 1%. He's going to be in. I don't even know if he's going to make the kiddie debate, as they call it. But I think he had to poll at least 1% to get on that one.
I call it the junior debate.
Junior debate, yeah. I don't know if Gramnesty's going to be on there.
Really? Wow, that would be embarrassing.
Well,
If I
how
was
about
in-
not having even 1% in your own home state?
Yeah.
What does that tell you? Kitty debate. What do we call this thing? Kitty debate.
Chris is going to be in the.
He's
Chris
in the
is
main
gonna-
stage.
The main, yeah.
He
did
wasn't
very-
in the last one.
Yeah, he was doing very, very good in the.
And he had an uptick in the polls because of New Hampshire. The union leader up there backed him. So
really?
that gave him about a 2 or 3 point bounce. But when the New Hampshire primary's over, that'll probably disappear.
I don't know. I don't think so. But I like Christie. I like him. I think they need to. He need to. He would be a good vice president, isn't it?
Yeah, I think Ted Cruz would probably be the best. And
Yeah.
Ted Cruz is young enough that he could be president after 8 years or 4 years or whatever.
Yeah.
Because he would between. I would give Cruz a little up on Rubio. Cruz comes across a little more seasoned, if you will. I think Cruz's experience, having been this and this and whatever he was in Texas, I think he even practiced before the Supreme Court. I think on a couple cases as a representative. I don't know if he's Attorney General of Texas or whatever he was, but he has a lot more experience than Rubio.
No, he was a senator. That's it.
Now, but before he was a senator,
He was a
he was a pretty higher up.
really.
Yeah. So he's got a lot more season. Rubio was a state legislature, I think, and then he became a U.S. Senate. He kind of like forgot about Congress. He went right to being a state senator, which is pretty remarkable. So he needs a little more season behind him, in my opinion. I think Cruz just appears to be a little more. Cruz took on Mitch McConnell, which I love that. And that gave me a good liking for him because I hate Mitch McConnell. I think he's just about as bad as Harry Reid. Not that anybody could be that bad.
I don't think so.
Well, not that anyone could be that bad, but he's close. And then now this guy Ryan, I thought the first couple of things he did as the leader were good, but now he's up there saying Trump's not qualified to be president. So he's off my list because he's wrong. He's out and out wrong. Trump is right, Ryan's wrong, and it'll be proven. So now we have another leader of the Congress that doesn't know what he's doing. Another incompetent. The Republican Party has been controlled by the establishment for too long. And they're broken. Both parties are broken. Yeah. When I say that there's something wrong with the Republicans, I don't mean ever to imply there's something right with the Democrats, because I will never say that. So Republicans are still the lesser of two evils, but we don't need either of them. We don't need either party. We need the people to make up who the electorates are going to be, not the parties. Parties should be declared illegal and eliminated. Just as we need to eliminate ISIS.
Somebody was talking about that today. I really didn't pay too much attention. I shouldn't, because they was blaming the parties for all the problems.
Well, I think I don't know. I don't want to put words in his mouth. I think I've heard Mark Levine hint along those lines a little bit. I think he's a constitutionalist.
No, I think it was that guy in the Spanish radio station was saying that.
Oh.
And then I stole some of your philosophy, and I mentioned it to him, and he said, "Yeah, you're right." But I can't remember exactly how it happened.
Well, I don't want to brag or anything, but I am always right.
Excuse me?
I'm kind of like Trump in a way.
Excuse me?
Trump's always right, and so am I.
Excuse me?
Always right. I've never been proved wrong. Sometimes you have to teach people that you're right. It takes a while sometimes, but eventually you win the debates, because when people start calling you names, you got them beat. They'll start calling you a racist and call you this or that. Well, it's because they can't talk anymore. They've lost the argument. Like all the Democrats, they've lost the argument. So they get up there and they play Santa Claus. They're going to buy their electorate. They have to buy the people.
Oh.
So if you're bought and you have food stamps and you're on welfare and you get this check from the government every month, how are you ever going to vote elsewise? They buy your vote. Now, why isn't that illegal? I know I spent some time in Kentucky on business, and around election time, they don't. The politicians aren't running around buying you with money. What they buy you with is a pint of booze. So if you show up, they have their cars there, all the people running for elections, and they have their trunk full of pints. So when you show up to vote, you go over and talk to these people, and they slip you a pint, and you go in and you vote for them. That's how they buy you, with booze, Kentucky bourbon. And now, shouldn't that be illegal? Isn't that buying your votes? I thought that was illegal. When you promise to be Santa Claus like Bernie Sanders and Hillary Clinton was at the win that time during the debate. Everything was Santa Claus. Free education, free this, free that. Isn't that buying your votes? Why is any of that legal? I know that's the American way, and it's going to be a hard hump to get over that one. But I mean, it's illegal. Yeah. Why are they buying your votes? That's what they're doing. Santa Claus is buying your votes. And that was Obama's platform in the last election. Give, give, give. He went over there to New Jersey and gave Christie some money, and then all the New Jerseyans vote for Obama.
Oh, when the
Sandy,
yeah.
Yeah. Buying votes. That's what it's all about. That's the only thing the Democrats have going for them.
I know, but I don't think Christie is for sale. I don't think he did. He got the money for his estate, but look at now. He is against. He's running against. Well, he's not running against Obama, but he's criticizing Obama all the time. You know, it's
Wow.
not. It's not true. You know, it's not true that he is. But it's important for people to realize that this is a very, very important election. It is very important that you take your country back. And I'm not saying I don't include myself in there, so I'm not trying to gain points or anything like that. Okay? You need to get your country back. That's the only thing I can tell you. If it's not for any other reason, it's just to what do you say, to protect the future of your family, the future of your children, your grandchildren. That's what it is. You know, we need to get back to where we was well respected, and we was the number one nation in the world.
We're not anymore, that's for sure.
No, we're not. And that's
we don't have the respect of anybody.
Every time I hear somebody say, "Oh, nobody's gonna do that to us," and nobody. Why not? We got people coming over here and take two planes and drop it in front of the two buildings, and nothing happened. Nothing happened. You know, you got people that, doing things that nobody ever did, and we have a socialist president. Nobody ever thought about having a social president in the United States.
Remember when they were having those McCarthy, was it called, hearings back? Was it the 50s or 60s where communism was so out?
Yeah.
I mean, it was against the law to be a communist. Now we have one in the White House. This is ridiculous.
We do?
Obama. He's not a communist. He's over there whispering to that other guy over there in Russia, "Don't worry, when I get reelected, you tell Vladimir that we'll get together and we'll figure this out when I get reelected." So,
And that was leaked?
huh?
That was leaked? People.
Yeah, it was on the air live, and he didn't know the thing was live. The microphones were live. He's over there whispering to Putin's henchmen. "Oh, you tell Vladimir that I know." Yeah. How'd that work out for you, Obama? How's Putin treating you now? He doesn't respect you. How can you go and you handle one of our biggest adversaries in the world and be whispering to one of the henchmen? Do you think that gives you strength? That puts your cards right on the table. You're a clown. You got no power. It's ridiculous. Anyway, I don't think, we mentioned Lindsey Graham. I don't think he was in the last debate in Milwaukee. He might be in this one coming up, though, but I'm trying to find out. They're very closed-mouthed about who's going to be in these debates. Lindsey Graham, I don't think, was in the last debate in Milwaukee on the kiddie table.
He wasn't?
No, I don't think so. Because he didn't have 1%.
But that doesn't mean that he's not running, right?
Yeah, for whatever reason, he's still running. And I don't get that. If you don't have 1% and you don't in your own home state, what are you doing in the race? What is it that makes these people run? What do they get out of this? Is that name recognition on the next one? And you do so badly, you think it would be a black mark, you know? I don't get it.
You know, it's the same thing that happened with the local election. The people run for office and run for office and run for office. They never get elected.
Don't you think after a while you're just taking it as like a joke?
Yeah.
I know, I think Ronald Reagan ran once and didn't make it, didn't it? I
Really?
forget, I think so. And I know Nixon ran once for sure and didn't get it. You know, sometimes it takes a couple tries. But when you run as a joke and you don't even get 1%, what would make you wake up the next election and say, hey, I think I'll throw my hat in the ring again. I got a 0.5% the last time. Maybe I'll get 0.75% this time. Crazy.
Yeah. That's what happened to Denita Kenya. He
Yeah.
runs and runs for every office.
Well, he was running against Loudon, wasn't it? For the nomination and Angle.
Yeah.
And then for whatever reason, I guess Harry Reid got both of them to drop out because he wanted to go against Angle so he could fix the election.
Yeah, I think he got her fixed.
Well, whatever.
That's my opinion.
How can you be down 5 points and you win by 5 points?
Yeah.
That seems pretty
that's
sinister to me, just the numbers themselves.
That's what happened. You know, I believe then he made a deal with Sharon Angle, and I used to be I think I was very close to her during that campaign, but it was too much. It was too much for me to swallow, you know, so.
Just for your information, what day do you think the next Democratic debate is?
On a
Pick a
Saturday?
day out of the. You're right. Why would it be a Saturday? The Republican debates are Tuesday
Huh?
at prime time.
Yeah,
Why the Democratic debates on a Saturday?
at midnight or
Well,
what?
5 o'clock, 8 o'clock Eastern time, when everybody's out to supper or out for the weekend, or nobody's in front of their TV set unless they're watching a movie. Unbelievable. Notice this, people. Notice what's going on. There is an answer for everything that's going on, and you have to realize what that answer is. Everybody's after Trump because Trump is the best candidate, and he's not viable. That's the whole reason. You can't control a Trump, so nobody wants him. He's totally untouchable, and that's exactly what this country needs. That's supposed to be the way this country was founded. Our leaders were not supposed to be viable. That's why we have checks and balances and separation of powers and all that stuff. But it's all been hijacked by despicable people. And we got to get the country back, and we start with Trump.
But I don't know if we can wait that long.
I don't know. It's going to be tough. At least we have the Congress is somewhat been blocked now.
Excuse me?
Well,
You dreaming or what?
no, I said somewhat, didn't I?
Yeah.
They did pass this thing the other day about changing the visa programs from various places.
Oh, they did?
And they overwhelmingly passed that. It was 400-something votes to a handful. So that was a good sign. And then Ryan, when he first got in there as the leader, they got that thing, whatever that was, about the illegal immigration stuff that Obama was just going to use his pen and his phone to get in. And then we backed that up with the U.S. judge saying what he was doing was unconstitutional. So Obama's had some few problems here lately, and he's got more coming. We got Obamacare.
I believe they stopped the Obamacare now.
Well, that's what I was just going to say. Obamacare's got problems whether they stop it or not right now because everybody's getting their new notices come January 1st that their premiums are going to go up 40%, 50%. What happened to he was going to save everybody $2,500? What happened to that? What happened? Did you save $2,500? Well, if you did, your deductible went up 5,000 or 10,000, and your copay went up the same amount. I mean, everything that this guy says and has promised to us has never come true. His policies don't work. His speeches are all fraud. I mean, we got a real case going on here where the President of the United States used to, when I was, a young guy growing up, the president would never go on TV and absolutely lie to you. Now, it's insane. Got to call ISIS ISIL. God, something deeply, deeply disturbed about this guy. Deeply, deeply wrong with him. So hopefully we can get him out of office by no later than January of next year, or not next year, the year after, 2017. Hopefully that's the latest. I think that all the governors that don't want these illegals flooding into their states should get behind Trump and just make him president. And now you have all the other candidates running for president who are saying that Trump's policies about the illegal immigration are illegal. That's not true. That's a complete lie. That's a fabrication. So nobody running for president has the slightest clue or competency about the Constitution of the United States. That makes them unqualified to be president. So all the governors, these 39 governors, should get together and say, there's nobody else, folks. They're all gonzo.
I think you are wrong. I believe they know exactly what's going on. It's just that they are on the assumption then the voters are stupid, and they play those kind of games, and they tell people stupid things, and the people that are infatuated with the brighted, people. Some people are happy just by taking pictures with a candidate, and if they take pictures with that candidate, they vote for that candidate. And some people are that way, and they insulting the intelligence of the human beings, of the voters of this nation, by playing those kind of games. They know exactly what's going on. They know exactly what they're saying, and they know exactly what they're doing.
You think the governors fall into that category? That's why I mentioned the governors. I don't think they fall into that classification.
Well,
I think
know.
They're responsible to run their state the way their voters.
I know a guy that only vote for governors, for president. He don't vote for senators, because
Well,
I was talking to
that.
him. I was talking to him, and I said, "Yeah, I thought you was gonna be helping Marco Rubio." He said, "I never vote. I never help a senator or any other candidate that is not a governor. They already know how to run the state.
They're executives.
Yeah. So I guess that is something in common with you. I rather have somebody that never been a governor, never been a senator, never been a mayor, never been anything else but a businessman. That person is going to be able to deal with the country like a businessman. It's like, I forgot who was it, and he started running for governor, and people say, "Oh, he don't have any experience." You don't have to have experience.
Shoot, that's a plus.
That's a plus.
You haven't been destroyed.
He was a great businessman. And he was a fantastic person and accessible, which, this is another thing that drives me crazy with this politician. They're running for president, they're running for governor, they're running for all these offices, and you cannot talk to them. They cannot talk to you because those campaign managers keep them away because they don't want the people to realize. There's your attorney over there, right? Yeah.
Party people.
Yeah, they
That's
don't
what those
want.
campaign managers are. Just they're puppets for the party.
Yeah, they don't want people to communicate with the candidate for two reasons, for many reasons. But like, if the candidate is dumb and stupid, they don't want the people to know that. And if the candidate is saying something that he's not supposed to, they don't want them to do that. And that's the reason why they keep. There was a lady over here that was running the campaign for some guy that was running for something, and she didn't let anybody else but Channel 5 mention talking to the candidate. She didn't let anybody else talking to the candidate. And I think that is wrong. People get frustrated with that happen. That is what make Oscar Goodman a complete winner. Oscar Goodman is like Shirley Berkeley. She was campaigning all day long, all year round, all terms. He win the election today, and tomorrow she's out shaking hands with people and talking to people. And even if they don't solve anything, they tell you, "Let me take care of that," or "Call this number and talk to so and so," and that poor other person is the one that pay the consequences because they got to take all those calls from people bitching about this and bitching about that, you know, because nobody called to say, "Hey, how can I help? You know, how can I talk? How can I help?" I put my name on the Donald Trump campaign and said, "Tell me how I can do it," you know. Not in the Donald Trump and the Republican, Clark County Republican Party. You know, tell me how I can be of any use, you know. And you know that I don't have too much time. I don't have time for anything now, the way my life is. But I believe that we need to help the people that might be able to help us. And if they don't help, then we forget about them. That's all.
Well, we can't let another person slip into control of the White House like we have the last two election cycles. That's absolutely pathetic. We've lost this country because of it. And we're going to have a tough road ahead of us to get it back. And that's just sick. Now, speaking of those governor races, we had an interesting race recently in Kentucky where the Republican person running for governor won and won significantly over the Democrat 52.5% to 44%. And he was projected to lose in the polls right before the election day. And he wins by 9%. I mean, that's phenomenal.
I see.
And he was Trump-like. That he was compared to a Trump-like figure.
Oh,
Well,
really?
That's what we need. You see, that
We
to me
need
was
more
a good
people
sign.
like that. And I think maybe a few people are going to be doing that. They're going to be imitating Donald Trump. They're going to be talking. And
The
then we.
Republican contenders already are. They talk like Trump. Have you noticed that? They don't really disagree with him. They had Ben Carson on a show the other night, and Ben Carson, I swear to God, without saying so specifically, was agreeing with Trump. And Hannity, I think is what he was on, kept saying, "Well, it sounds to me like you agree with Trump." And Carson wouldn't answer. He'd just sit there with a smile. And, you know, he kept bringing up a third alternative to these refugees pouring in here. His third alternative was make them a safe zone where they're from, not here in this country. We don't want to make this a safe zone because it won't become a safe zone. It'll become like San Bernardino. That's what we'll become. Opposite is safe.
Yeah.
Anytime Obama does anything, you have the opposite reaction.
Well, folks, don't forget that the Las Vegas Tribune is out there now. Go into your internet and get the paper. Today's paper is full of good stuff, full of a lot of good stuff. I thank you very much. Don't forget the Wake Up Call is next with Steve Captain Truth Dempsey, and at 2 o'clock, The Herd with my co-worker, my co-host, Mr. Clark Phillip. So get up, move around, and come back and keep the show going. Thank you for listening. Thank you, and you have a great day. Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right, so we got some more converts today. We got probably 10% more of the electorate going to Trump.
Huh?
What do you mean, huh? We've converted how many people with this show? They listen to us. So now they're Trumping, like the person you've been talking to at the courthouse. Now they're Trumpers.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah. And I think, what's his name? The